Let me tell you why I think there was a lot of reaction against No Child Left Behind. In a way, its strength was also its weakness. Its strength was that for the first time we didn't aggregate kids together in a big clump and hide kids who were failing and let them go through 12 years of school and then, heck, they're functionally illiterate, but we just sort of meshed them into the others and never really had to deal with them. We said every child is important as an individual. That's the most American thing I think we could do in education, is to say individuals are important. We're not just part of groups, we're individuals. And this child over here with a disability is just as important as the child who doesn't have one. So we're not going to let some school sweep him under the rug, so to speak. That's a good thing. Now the bad side was that we didn't have a very sophisticated way of making sure that we sort of took that into the context. So you might have a school that was very upset that it was going to be on the need for improvement list, when it may have had a wonderful academic record, but it had, several kids who were underperforming, and therefore it brought the average down. That's being worked on, and it needs to be worked on. But God bless us, we finally said that kid's important. I'm glad we did that. You know what really bothered people about No Child Left Behind? We turned the scoreboard on. Up until then, it was all about process. As long as we had, 180 days of instruction, people would say, my school's doing fine. Boy, education in America is terrible, but my school's good. Well, the truth was a lot of schools weren't so good. They were failing a lot of our kids. Not failing them in the sense they were getting Fs. They were grade inflating them. They were getting As, but then they'd flunk out of college because they weren't prepared for college. No Child Left Behind said, we're going to turn the scoreboard on. We're actually going to see how well we're doing. We're going to be comparing our results to the other kids in our state and ultimately to the other kids in the country. And what happened was a lot of people didn't like what they saw, so rather than say, let's have a better team, they said, turn the scoreboard off. We don't want to see it. Well, I think the answer is not turn the scoreboard off. The answer is, by gosh, let's do better on the scoreboard. And that's what we ought to be doing. We ought to be pushing our kids to the highest levels of quality in education possible, not simply saying we don't really want to know how well or how poorly they're doing. That way we can artificially congratulate ourselves for what a great education system we have.